Not much commentary needed on this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and as always, I'm bringing you the best bits. So I'm sitting here watching the trial live. I'm taking the little bits which I think are relevant. This is, of course, the deposition witness phase. This is day 4, and this is Dr. Kipper, both Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's doctor. And you can see here the questions being asked, which are pertaining to violence, physical assault, injuries, etc. And it's pretty damning in terms of Amber Heard and how it looks. In fact, it looks like she's straight up lying and no one has ever witnessed any physical abuse or harm or injuries. In fact, if these testimonies are to be believed, no one as yet has seen any injuries on this individual, especially around the time that these injuries were said to take place. So enjoy. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you're appreciating the coverage, please do share it. And comment down below. Please do follow me over on Twitter and Instagram. Thanks so much, ladies and gents. Enjoy.
The notes reflect here that you met with Ms. Heard at that time, correct?
Yes.
Ms. Heard tell you that she was concerned about Mr. Depp being violent with her at this consultation?
No.
If she had told you that, is that something you would have documented in these notes?
Yes.
Your note here states that Amber has a strong family history of drug and alcohol abuse and is particularly sensitive to his behaviors and potential for abuse. The phrase potential for abuse, is that referring to substance abuse?
Yes.
It's not referring to physical abuse.
No.
And what do you mean when you state that Ms. Heard is particularly sensitive to Mr. Depp's behaviors?
Having grown up in that environment, she's used to seeing the trauma that it inflicts and is not only able to recognize it, but also it affects her. She has the ability to understand what that looks like.
And was this your observation of her or something she told you?
This is something she told me.
And did Ms. Lloyd go with you?
Yes.
And where did you see Mr. Depp after receiving that message?
I believe I saw him outside of his little home. It was either across from this little home was like a little cantina where one would eat, and it was, I think, around the cantina.
And what was his physical condition at that time?
He was frustrated. He was uncomfortable.
How was his demeanor?
One of being frustrated and uncomfortable.
And was Ms. Heard with him at that time?
When I saw Mr. Depp at that point, no, she was not.
And at this time, this was in the middle of his detoxification process, correct?
Yes.
Did you see Ms. Heard that evening?
I can't remember.
Do you recall Ms. Heard seeking medical treatment from you for any physical injuries while you were on the island in August 2014? Okay, go ahead.
No, I don't.
If Ms. Heard had sought treatment from you for injuries, is that something you would have documented?
Yes, I would have.
Is that something you would have remembered her telling you?
Yes.
Did you see Ms. Heard after this evening of August 17th?
On that particular evening, that I can't remember. But I did see Miss Heard pretty much daily during my time on the island.
So did you see her at some point perhaps, did you see her the next day?
Yes.
And did you observe any injuries to Miss Hurd at that time?
No.
She didn't have any bruises that you observed?
No.
After you met with Mr. Depp that evening of August 17th, did you go back to his accommodations at some point?
No. No, I think we resolved the issues where we were outside of his little hut, his home.
So you didn't go and attend to him again in his home after that time?
No.
During the time that you were with Mr. Depp on the island for his detox process, did you ever witness him physically abuse Miss Hurd?
No, never.
Did you ever see any physical evidence that Mr. Depp had abused Miss Hurd?
No. Same answer, never.
And during your time on the island, did you witness Miss Hurd abuse Mr. Depp in any way?
No.
Do you recall when Miss Hurd first became your patient?
No, I couldn't give you a definitive date.
It would have been before October 2014, though, correct?
Yes.
And it would have been after Mr. Depp's detox on the island in August 2014. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. When you started treating Miss Hurd, did you assign a nurse to her? When you started treating Miss Hurd, was there a nurse that you assigned to her?
I can't recall whether Ms. Myers, it was when I started to treat her. At some point, I did assign a nurse to her, but I can't tell you which came first. I believe I was treating her before I had recommended a nurse for her.
So your recollection is that you started treating her, and after that, a nurse was assigned?
That's my memory, yes.
During the time that Miss Hurd was your patient and she had a nurse, Miss Borum was assigned to her, how regular was Miss Borum checking in with Miss Hurd?
Very regular. Very regular. Saw her, yes.
Would she have seen her on a daily basis?
I don't believe it was a daily basis, but I know, had daily contact with her in some way.
Would Miss Borum have seen Miss Hurd in person on at least a weekly basis?
Yes.
Were there times that Miss Borum traveled with Miss Hurd?
Yes.
And as a registered nurse, does Miss Borum have an obligation to report any suspected abuse of her patient to you? Alex, could you please pull up document H? Dr. Kipper, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And what is it?
It's an initial intake of that care.
I'm going to scroll down a bit and just show you that there are future entries on this document as well. Do you see these?
I do. I'm assuming, I don't want to make an assumption, but I would believe these notes are from Aaron Forum. But if you'll give me a second to look at this, I can be more specific.
Certainly. Let me know if you'd like me to scroll through the document a bit more. I can do that for you.
Yes, these are notes from Aaron Forum.
Does this document reflect any of your own notes on Ms. Heard?
This reflects my treatment recommendations.
But these are Ms. Borum's notes. You
Yes.
believe.
Yes.
Did you ask Ms. Borum to maintain these notes?
Yes.
And for what purpose?
Because she was monitoring a patient and I needed to be informed of how the patient was doing and for any adjustments of treatment.
Did you tell Ms. Borum what type of information should be documented in the notes?
No.
And would there be anything that you expressly asked her not to document?
No.
Do you understand that Ms. Borum used her training and judgment in preparing these notes?
Yes, I do.
You weren't telling her what to include in these notes. She was drafting them on her own. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Have you reviewed these notes before?
I have reviewed these notes.
Have you reviewed them in their entirety?
Yes, but not recently.
And how often would you review Ms. Borum's notes on Ms. Heard?
I review my nurse's notes as they come in, so that would be on a real-time basis.
Okay. And going back to the first page, do you see this entry is dated August 27th, 2014?
Yes.
Does this refresh your recollection as to when Ms. Borum would have been assigned to Ms. Heard?
Yes.
And does this at all refresh your recollection as to when you started treating Ms. Heard?
Yes, this would be about the time.
During the time that you treated Ms. Heard, did she ever seek treatment from you for injuries that appeared to be the result of domestic abuse?
No, she did not.
Did she ever seek treatment from you for any injuries that she told you were caused by Mr. Depp?
No, she did not.
And did Ms. Heard ever tell you that Mr. Depp abused her?
No, she did not.
And you never witnessed any physical abuse by Mr. Depp against Ms. Heard during the time that you treated both of them?
No, never.
If Ms. Bourne observed that Ms. Heard had any physical injuries, is this something that would have been documented in her patient notes for Ms. Heard?
Yes, absolutely.